Hello pattern lovers, welcome back. It's yet another exciting tutorial, and today's video will be a detailed tutorial on how to draft a waist matching cupped corset. A cupped corset that cinches the waist in its simplest method. So if you want to know how to draft your cupped corset that snatches the waist, kindly watch this video to the very end. And without further ado, let's get to it. So here I have my basic bodice pattern ready on my table, and we'll go ahead and transform this to a cupped corset. The first thing I'll do now is to start from this top line here, the shoulder line, and go down to my underbust. The bust point is 10 inches, the underbust 14 inches, and then the waistline is 17 inches. And I'm using a length of 24 inches. The length is totally optional, but just know that the shorter the length of your corset is, especially if it is fully boned, the more comfortable it will be on your lower abdomen when you sit down. So anything between 6 to 7 inches from your natural waistline is okay. So after getting the underbust, I'm going to divide what I have on this shoulder line here, from the shoulder tip to the neck tip, divide it into two and connect it to the bust point. Now I'm coming up 3.5 from that point. You can also come up 1.5 from your armhole line. That armhole length that you have there. Either you come up 3.5 or you go up 1.5 from your armhole line. So after that, I'll come to the underbust and tighten the underbust, and you see me marking 1/2 inch on both sides of the dart legs. Then I'll come to this over bust line and mark 0.75 on both sides. Next, I'm going to use my curve to connect it the same way you see me doing it here. You can see the curve placement, right? And right after that, we are going to make this basque because we are cutting a basque cupped corset. And to do that, I'm going to come to the center front here and mark 2.5. You can do anything between 1 inch to 2.5. It's totally optional, but here I'm using 2.5. Then I'm going to connect from that 2.5 to the bust point. Can you see how I place this my curve? Now I'm going to clean up this dart line that we have here so that we don't get confused, but have it in mind that we use 0.75 on both sides. We use 1.5 as the waist dart, okay? 0.75 on both sides of the bust span line. Now we are going to replace the dart, do 0.75 on this new basque line, okay, or bust span line. Then come to the hem and mark 1/2 inch on both sides. And the reason for that is that you don't want to have too much ease on your lower belly. The goal is to snatch the waist, right? Connect it to the center dart line there. Then first I want to show you the shape that it will give. That's why I'm connecting it first to the bust point. Then after that, I'm going to connect from the under bust tightening to the 1/2 inch we have at the hem, and you can see the difference. Now determine how low you want the neckline to be. You can come up 1 inch from the bust point or 2 inches. For me, I came up 2 inches from the bust point. You can also measure from the shoulder line to where you want the neckline to fall in. Then on that point, I'm marking 1/2 inch from that my neckline depth to the bust point, yet 1/2 inch like that, and you see how I connected it, squared it out. Now go ahead and through the over bust line, either you close your dart or you measure what you have on the side dart. You see that side front, measure it, and then you measure what you have on the center here, just so it's the same. You can also close it like this, like I said before, and it will still give you the same result, but make sure that you through that part so that you don't have any shortage while joining. Can you see that it's actually the same? Now I'm going to connect from that point now to the neckline depth. Go ahead and give it any neckline shape that you want. If you want round, if you want sweetheart, if you want V, just go ahead and give it anything that you want there. The next thing I'll do now is to get the angle 90 of this point, just so we get the sweet shape for the cup. Okay, get your angle 90 there. This curve that I'm using has an angle 90 on it, something like this. You can see that V shape. So this one is angle 45, then the other part is 45. Then on the mid part, you have the angle 90 there. Now you're going to place it like this in a way that 2V is on your center front, that folded part of your paper, and then the underbust line. Then you're going to mark the 90 in the middle there. This other curve also has the angle 90, but I'm using this particular curve for this. So after that, I'm going to go in there. This part now, I'm going to go in by 1.5. This is to ensure that the cup is not too curvy on that point. It's not too curved, and it's also curved in a way that it will contain your bust, and not when you wear your corset, your bust will be going out. Hope that makes sense. Now we complete the curve by getting the bust straight, and you're going to measure from this ½ inch we came in from the center front, and you see me marking on the 8 inches because the bust width of the person I'm making this for is 8 inches. You can also come in by 1.5 or 2 inches from the side seam line. Then you're going to come down here by ½ inch on your armhole line, come in by ½ inch or even 1 inch depending on what you want. Now you're going to mark the same 8 inches on that ½ inch you came in from the armhole line, and then you're going to curve it like so. Okay, make sure you measure the person you're working with, the bust width of the person you're working with, so that you have it accurate there. Okay, can you see that shape? So after I'm done with the cup, I'll go ahead and complete the rest of the basque. And to do that, I'm going to come in 2.5 from this that leg, 2.5. Then on this part, I'm going to measure what I have there and divide it into 2. Mark it and then connect from that point to the 2.5 I came in on the hem. Can you see that? You can also come in 1 inch, 2 inches, but this 2.5 is okay for me. And now for the waist snatching, you can decide to snatch on this your new dart line, or you just snatch from the side seam line. I'll show you both. First, we'll do from the side seam line, which I came in by 1 inch. You don't have to do too much. ½ inch, 1 inch is just okay, so that it snatches your waist and you're still comfortable. So I'll connect from the bust measurement to that 1 inch, and then I'll place my curve like this and curve it to the hem. Can you see that? It's already giving that snatched effect. So I'll clean it off and show you how to do the on this dart line. If you want to do it on this part, you're going to mark ½ inch on both side of the dart line, and then you're going to connect this to your under bust. Okay, whichever one you want to do, if it's the side or this one, connect it from the under bust to that point that you snatch that ½ inch on both sides. Then you're going to come to the hem and mark 0.25 on both sides. Like I said before, you don't want to have any form of ease on that point, any form of that ease on your lower abdomen, so that it snatches and not gape after you're done sewing. But as you can see, this part is looking funny, so I'm just trying to blend it in while trying not to take out anything on that point. Can you see that? So either you do this one or you do the first one, but personally I like snatching from the side seam line, and that's because it's just blend into your natural shape, natural body shape, and it's not hard to snatch. While you're lacing your corset, it's just following your body shape and snatch it so well. The other one works, like I said before, but do the one that you so wish. Now go ahead and measure what you have here on your waist. Measure from the center front to the first dart line. Transfer what you have there to the other dart line and measure all the way to the side. And then make sure that you didn't snatch too much out of your waist. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to give this hem part the shape that I want. I came up by 2 inches. You can also mark like I said before, 5 inches or 4 inches from your natural waistline. Then you curve it. Give it any shape that you want there. It's totally optional. Now go ahead and measure what you have from the shoulder line to the armhole. Remember we came in ½ inch from the original armhole line. Measure from the shoulder point to that point because you will need it for the back drafting. To cut it out, you're going to slash open the dart line to the bust point, and then you close the bust dart like so. Go ahead and blend in the side, which is not too obvious because of the length difference, the front length and the back length, just 1.5 inches difference. So since I snatched from the side seam line, I'm going to make this basque line, the second basque line, just 2 inches. Remember we did 2.5 before. Now I've just marked 2 inches now, just so it gives that basque effect. If you want the 3-part corset cup, you're going to come in on the center front 1.5, on the center here 2.5, then on the side 2 inches. Okay, then you're going to connect it from the 1.5 on the center to the 2.5 center front to this 2.5 on the mid part, and then 2 inches on the side. Remember, you're going to close the dart here just to through the line. Okay, and after cutting, you're also going to close this part and tape it down so that it's actually 3 parts. And don't forget to label it. Okay, but I'm not going for the 3-part corset cup. I just want these 2 parts or 2-piece. But whether you're going for the 3-part corset cup or you're just going to for this 2-piece, labeling is very important. Go ahead and label it so you don't get confused. This is pattern paper and this is corset. You only know which one is which one you haven't cut it out. After cutting it out, it will start looking weird. So go ahead and label it, and I labeled 1, 2, 3 here. Also label the cup 1, 2, 3 in case I'm going for the 3-part. I change my mind later. Okay, then also label it as center front, middle front, and side front. I have CF, MF, and SF. Okay, go ahead and cut all the necessary parts, and there you have it. Now let's go over to the back. And the back is just like 40% done. Remember I said that the difference between the front length and then the back length is just 1.5. That's why you see it shorter on the hem. Now I'm going to mark that same value we got from measuring from the shoulder to the armhole line of the front, and that is 9.5. So I marked it and rolled it out like so. Now I'm going to get the dart line, and I'm using the bust span measurement, but I measure is 4 inches, but I measure from the center back contouring. And for the dart, I'm going to mark 0.75 on both sides of the bust span line. On the top line here, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. Then on the hem too, I will mark the same 1/2 inch on both sides. So I'll connect from the 0.75 on the waist to the 1/2 inch on the top, and then again from the 0.75 on the waist to the 1/2 inch on the hem. Can you see that? Remember to measure your bust span line from the center back contour line. Okay, now I'm going to get the second dart line, and I'm going out 2 inches from the 0.75 we used as the dart intake on the waist. One part of the dart leg, I went in 2 inches. Again, if you want, you can snatch the waist from this new dart line, or you do it just the same way we did for the front. Okay, you come in 1/2 inch on the side seam line, 1 inch actually. Then you're going to place your curve the same way that I did it, just so you don't take too much out of your bust part. This is cupped corset, so you're supposed to just snatch your waist and then leave your bust like that. So just like we did for the front, I'm going to also measure the waist of the back, and I think I have about 13 inches, which is 26 inches, and the person's waist is 30 inches. That means we took out 4 inches from the waist. Like I said before, you can do more or less if you want, or you just leave it like this. So if you want to do more, you can also take it out from this dart line here, 0.25 on both sides, which is 1/2 inch. Or you can just take out 0.25 on one side, just so it's not just that straight like that. Okay, so if you're taking out the more, you can also, after taking out from the back pattern, you can also take out from the front. See that part that is straight on the front pattern? Go ahead and also take out 0.25 on both sides. But what I already have on the pattern is just enough for me. I don't want to do too much, so I just leave it like that. I'm just trying to show you in case you want to snatch your waist the most. Some people take out 6 and even 8 inches from their waist. But like I said, what we need is just that hourglass figure. You don't want to kill yourself, right? The next thing I'm going to do is to take out from this point this center back here, and I'm following the same shape I already have there. I'm marking out 2 inches, taking out 2 inches from that center back. Like I said, I follow the same shape I already have there. On the bust part, 2 inches on the waist, 2 inches on the hem, 2 inches, 2 inches, and you can see the shape that you have there. Your back is not straight, so you don't have to make it straight there. Then I went up 2 inches again from the side, and then I curved it to the that leg like that. For the neckline, you can decide to leave it like that or even go up the more, or you can come down the more. So I decided to just come in 1 inch from there, and then we are going to cut it out. Before you cut it out, please make sure you threw the dart there. I actually forgot, but I remembered on time. So I'm going to tape it down again and then measure what I have on both that leg. Make sure it's now the same and mark it. Can you see? I just have about 0.125 just to add there, and then I'll continue cutting. Again, don't forget to label. It's important. Label. I'm labeling from the side to the center. It's easier for me that way. Then I'll notch the upper part. It's very important. Notch. You can also mark if you want, but notching just works best for me. And there you have it. Your waist cinching cup corset is ready. So you can decide to cut the center part on fold depending on the kind of boning technique that you're going for, or you can just cut it single, in two. That means you're cutting all of them in two, and I'm just marking writing ×2 on the pattern. So this will be the end of our tutorial today. Let me know in the comments if you'd want me to draft any other style. My name is Confidence, and I'll see you next. Bye bye.